Hello, everyone, and welcome to a countdown live stream. This is episode 11 of Graveyard Mayo, and I am going to double check that because I've made errors with numbers in the past. Like when I did my recent episode of Miracle Whip, I accidentally said it was episode 10 or something when it was actually episode 19. I didn't read my playlist properly. So I am really happy right now because right now I'm at 999 subscribers. So we're only one away from 1,000. And I want to give a shout out to Oaktown Bricks, who's on YouTube and Instagram. Put out an Instagram story to get some of his followers to subscribe to me because he noticed that I was at 998. Yesterday I was at 997. So he must have been browsing YouTube and then saw that I was just inches away from the big 1K. So shout out to Oaktown Bricks. Yeah, so we'll see if anyone comes into chat because I have no expectations. I'm just excited because if my subscribers hold me accountable to what I said in the past, then we'll have some fun times when we get to 1,000 subscribers. That'll be fun. Also, we do have someone in chat. Hello, Hanzo Cloud. I don't think I've seen you before. So welcome to the Mayohosko channel. And indeed, we are just one subscriber away from 1,000. And a long-time friend of the channel, hello, Stud Sidious, says, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, exactly. Only one more subscriber to go. It's very exciting, Hanzo. Very exciting. And, yeah, so, when I do eventually hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to have a lot of fun times together. And I think it would be really fun whenever we do hit 1,000 subscribers, we can do a stream talking about how people found me within the LEGO community, because I found the majority of people who I talk to on social media on a daily and weekly basis because of a friendship tree. And I've loosely explained what my friendship tree is before, because I've been on YouTube for 12 years now. So I'm now going to start parodying the first episode of season 4 of Thomas the Tank Engine, which was called Grandpuff. There's a famous quote in there that says, "Engines come and engines go, but Grandpuff goes on forever." I'm going to start saying, YouTube channels come and YouTube channels go, but I go on forever. And hello, RC. So glad to see you active again. Yeah, it's just one subscriber to go. Yeah, I've been on YouTube for 12 years, which is now, if I think about it, I've spent over half my life on YouTube, at least with a channel, because I remember when, I remember the early days of YouTube. I was 6 years old when I first logged on to YouTube.com, it was I'm pretty sure it was my winter of 2007, and I forget how I got introduced to YouTube. I think one of my parents was watching a tutorial video to repair a piece of furniture. I have no idea how I got introduced to YouTube, but I know it was in 2007. And the Lego community back in 2007 was mainly, well, if anyone did edit anything, it was primarily on Windows Movie Maker, if anyone remembers that, which was a very antiquated piece of editing by Windows and Microsoft, which has since been superseded by stuff like Filmora and CapCut and iMovie and Final Cut Pro and a whole bunch of the other editing software that we use today. No one uses Windows Movie Maker anymore. That was very much a product of its time. But all I remember is that the first videos I watched were were a combination of Thomas the Tank Engine and Lego stop motions. And so I have a playlist that is private of old YouTube videos, and there are a lot of stop motions in there. And you know what, just from memory lane, I'm going to see if I can find the thumbnails to these. I'm not going to actually play the video. You guys can go and see the thumbnails for yourself, but I'm going to go onto YouTube and I'm going to go to my playlists and I'm going to scroll down to my playlist that is titled Old YouTube. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Let me see when the oldest video came out. When was the oldest video in that playlist? Let me see. Yeah, so the oldest, I have a bunch of videos in my old YouTube playlist that are from 18 years ago. So that would be 2007. 18 years ago, 2007. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share screen. Windows is everything for non-Apple users. I've actually some people actually convinced me to write a notes app explaining where it came from. So if you want me to send you that notes app, I can send it to you. So I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to go to my playlist. So one of the very first videos I ever watched, and I'm going to pull up the first frame, but this is an ad, so you'll have to excuse the ad. And I'm going to get to the first frame. So yeah, this is a video from 17 years ago. Let me see if this is in frame. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a video from 17 years ago called Lego City Movie Drift Airport. And it's by this user, Adam Radomski. It's got almost 1,000 likes, over 1 million views. And then this other one was called Trouble on the Train. And I want to get to the good thumbnail. No, sorry, I want to get to the good shot. Actually, no, there's a shot of the town. There's a shot of the town. Come on. There's an overhead. I hate it. Yes. No, it's the shot before. If I can get to this. Yeah, it's that shot right there. This is a video called Trouble on the Train. It has over 500 likes, almost 1 million views. And this is 18 years old. And I only recently just remembered the name of this video. And then there's this one. Let me get to the good. There's a scene in this that's an accident. So the whole premise of this is that there's a motorbike and it crashes into a van and there's an accident. And it's at the end of a police chase. So the video is called Stop Motion Lego Police Chase. It's by Joel Movings. Has almost 3,000 likes and over 1.5 million views. It's from 17 years ago. But probably my most nostalgic YouTube video that I've ever watched is this. And I'm just going to show the first frame. It's called Lego City Train Station Accident featuring Miss. And it's by Peach Club Pictures. Has almost 10,000 likes and over 6 million views. It's from 17 years ago. So those are just some of the videos in my old YouTube playlist. And majority of these are stop motions, but the most nostalgic YouTube channel for me is VDOS JCOI. And this was an era where people did not care about copyright infringement in their videos. And I think these videos are so old now that the copyright holders haven't gone after these channels because they're so old. They probably don't even care. Even though I see people in these comments still watching this stuff. Like this video has the remixed version of a Little Less Conversation by Elvis Presley in it. And if I sort these comments by newest, these videos still get views. The latest one of these is from 7 days ago. Says, I remember when this first came out. How is this 17 years old? Yeah. So yeah, that's just a little bit of history. Yeah, so I have been on YouTube for long enough to see channels come and channels go, and I am a veteran of the Lego community because I've been around for more than 5 years, and I'm an elder statesman of the Lego community because I've been around for more than 10 years. Yeah, so what are people saying? Yeah, it's all relevant, isn't it? Yeah, I deleted all of my old videos that I uploaded when I was in middle school because of copper. My parents were born in the early and mid... No, sorry. My parents were born in the mid-60s. Classic space that didn't exist when my parents were born. To put it into perspective, my mother was born when the first Lego train on Blue Track came out in 1966. Yeah, I don't know anything about Android, and the Mac that I'm using to film this stream on, I have owned it for 3 years now, and it's the only Mac that I've ever owned. Well, it is a story very similar to that. I do the same thing. Yes, I have had some of my Canadian friends tell me about that before. Hey Zelda, we're just one subscriber away from 1,000. And I'm going to check my YouTube studio, and yet still 999. So we just need one more subscriber for 1,000. And it is 12:16 a.m. on Wednesday, the 17th of July, 2025. Yeah, my father is a late boomer, and my mum is an early Xer, and so is my auntie on my mum's side. She's also an early Xer. All the majority of my aunties and uncles on my father's side are baby boomers, but some of them are actually from the silent era. They're from the silent generation, but they're so old that they're dying now. Which is unfortunate, but that happens with old age, and it also happens to people who don't take care of their bodies. So I've had enough people who have died in my family that I am not immune to the concept of mortality. Yeah, that's very much a Gen Y and Gen Z slang, is Karen. Oh, and RC, if you're still here, I posted a thing on my private Instagram. Let me see if you follow. Well, yeah, let me see what that's like, because I was watching a video by Holly on Film from like a year ago, and she was talking about the Lego movie, and I noticed some of the clothing that Will Ferrell as the father, the man upstairs, the voice behind Lord Business, was wearing. And I thought it was very funny, and I'm now surprised that no one's ever talked about it. But if you know anything about American presidents, then you might notice something interesting about the clothes that Will Ferrell is wearing in the Lego movie. Because I remember seeing the Lego movie in theaters. I remember seeing the trailer before another movie that I saw in 2013, because the movie came out in 2014. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I was like, my jaw dropped. So I begged my parents to take me to it. So I begged my mother to take me to it when it dropped, and I think it dropped in April of 2014, which was the perfect timing because that was school holidays back when I was in it was my last year of middle school, because I went to high school in 2015. Hello, Legend Bricks. Good to see you here, buddy. Long time no see. Well, what's up is we're one subscriber away from 1,000, which is why the title of this episode of Graveyard Mayo is Lego subscribers, because we're one subscriber away from 1,000. And when I when I see that, well, whenever I see 1,000 subscribers on the current subscribers on my YouTube analytics, I'm gonna have to go onto someone's stream and cry. Yeah, because wasn't he the governor of California when 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 George when George when George W. Bush was president? And that was when the Hummer car was popular, and he was like the spokesperson for the Hummer car. I remember when my grandpa used to have a Hummer, but he sold it. Yeah, so I'm just constantly refreshing as I see more people that come into the chat. But if there's anything that anyone wants to talk about, I'd be happy to talk about it. Yeah, buddy. A lot of things in American culture comes back to Ronald Reagan. And for all the Transformers fans out there, and for all the G.I. Joe fans out there, and for the people that are excited about the Lego Soundwave Transformers set that is coming out, and everyone talking about how they can't make the Megatron Transformer into a Lego set because Lego is against guns, and the Megatron Transformer transforms into a gun. And Lego is against that, so we'll never get a Megatron. And one of the reasons why Transformers is so popular is because the toys were so good back in the 80s. The same with the G.I. Joe franchise and a whole bunch of other children's entertainment from the 80s was born out of toys that were popular, and Ronald Reagan was the person that relaxed the laws on children's advertising, which is why the 80s was arguably the best era for children's entertainment and toys ever. Yeah, I watched that video before I started this stream. I've been on YouTube long enough to remember when Just Too Good had Eurobricks in their name. And it's so crazy with the Just Too Good channel. I met Just Too Good when they were Justin at Brickworld Chicago 2023, and I met Just Too Good when they were Sarah at Brickworld Chicago 2024. So I feel quite privileged to have met both the Justin and the Sarah version of J2G in person. And because of the time we spent at Brickworld Chicago, along with the time I spent with other people at Brickworld Chicago, I strengthened my ties with a lot of people. Well, they've kind of gotten away from guns. They more so go with the fantasy weapons because Lego is hypersensitive to their morality. I don't get it either. Yeah, and they don't make Western figures anymore, do they? I think the last Western anything we got was for the Lego movie. Yeah, because it was the Western theme that introduced the rifles and the revolvers. It was the pirates theme that introduced the flintlock pistol and the musket gun. And I saw some other stuff. Yeah, and Lego is also against tanks, which is why the Kobe sets are really popular. So I'm in South Australia. So I'm half an hour behind the East Coast. Exactly. The closest they've come to a military theme is some of the sets from Indiana Jones, where Lego made the Nazi logo. They made the swastika in a set, which was super edging and would have triggered a lot of people back in 2009 or whenever. Let me see when that set came out. Let me go to Brickset. Let me go to Brickset and see the Indiana Jones thing. Because I forget which of the movies it's from. But I'm pretty sure it's the fight on the flying. No, it's not the fight on the flying wing. It's the fighter plane attack. It's the fighter plane attack. But yeah, there was some. There, or maybe it was the fighter plane chase. Where was it? Anyway, there was some kind of. I swear it was an actual sticker. Let me. I want to find this. Because I know that some of the Kobe sets and the Brick Mania sets have both the swastika for the Nazis, the Confederate the stars and bars for the Confederacy, and the hammer and sickle for the Soviet Union. Which is really controversial. I'm going down a rabbit hole now. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I can't remember which of the planes. It was from a plane set. Because I only own one of the original Indiana Jones sets. I own one of the original Indiana Jones sets. Maybe they're talking about the fighter plane attack, which is weird because looks like they didn't actually make the swastika. They just made a cross, but they included the red tail fin. and they included a sticker with the bullet holes instead. Because people keep on saying that Lego made a sticker of the swastika. But in these sets, I'm not seeing anything like that on Brickset. I'm not seeing anything like that. So I don't know where they're getting their information from, but I'm not seeing any first-hand proof about that. Hey Hoarder, what's up? We're just one subscriber away from 1,000. Yeah, some people keep saying that they did put it on, but I just scan over Brickset, and I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. So maybe they're spreading fake news. Because I'm not seeing. I didn't see anything like that. Oh, my Mac needs to get put on charge. Yeah, I'm just in my room. Right, I'm just in my room right now. So the video, well, my lamp has a very loose connection right now. I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah, I've heard those stories before, Stud. There are color schemes and logos that get hijacked over time for bad reasons. And there are words in the English language that get transformed. Hello, Emmy Schultz. Good to see you. Oh, said I just subscribed. No, actually, it doesn't, because YouTube's going to see that as YouTube's going to see that as an empty calorie subscriber. But welcome anyway, Amy. Good to see you here. I'm not sure if I've ever seen you on one of my streams, so welcome. Yeah, so I know it's just alts, but ladies and gentlemen, we have the big reveal. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yes, now I'm going to put up this. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. We did it, guys. We did it. Exactly. We're going to celebrate the good times. And I know it's just alts, and there's always a yo-yo, because I guarantee you that within the next 24 hours, I'll get to 1,001, then it'll drop back down to 1,000, then it'll drop back down to 999, then it'll go back up to 1,000, then it'll drop back down to 999, then it might go back down to 998, and then eventually I'll get up to 1,010, which is when I'll really start the celebration, because once you get 10 subscribers over a milestone, that's at least my margin for error with all of the yo-yo with all the yo-yos when YouTube unsubscribes empty calorie or inactive subscribers. You have 1,000 of what? I always have to account for the yo-yo effect as a margin of error, and that's what happens. That's what happens when you've spent enough time on social media to know how it works. So I've got a video dropping in 6 hours now. About my new shelf, a second IKEA Billy bookcase, and I changed the way that I displayed some of my Lego, and to incorporate some of the new sets I bought recently, like the Formula One set for the Duplo, and what I've been doing with my stack for the minifigure habitats. And I recently built the upscaled Space Baby GWP. I think that was on one of the jungle streams. I built the Duplo Formula One set on, and I think that was one of my streams before we started the Brick Talk series with Owen the Lego Master, which is every Friday and Saturday at 9 p.m. in Europe, 8 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific, and the next day at 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I think that is sarcasm, because he is the most anti-growth Lego YouTuber I've ever seen. But he's also an elder statesman of the Lego community. I want to see something really quickly. Yes, I want to see something really, really quickly. Mayo has all the world clocks on his wall, like a. No, I've got it all on my clock app. That's how I double check the schedule. I got it all on my clock app. We will be doing a 24-hour stream. On my stream yesterday, Dario reminded me. He remembered about the 24-hour stream, and a bunch of you guys have also reminded me about the 24-hour stream. So if I can get 5 people to spend their day with me on a 24-hour stream, and if I can get people to cover for them when they go to sleep, then we will do a 24-hour live stream. Who knows? It might take so long to get all of that organized. I might be at 1,100 subscribers before we do that. But I'm in no rush to do any of that because I'm going back to grad school in 1.5 weeks. So I want to see something on YouTube, and I'll let people bask in the glory of the big 1,000. I want to see when Chopper created his account. Also, just saw that I did that addicted to the click just subscribed. So is that your alternate aiming? Well, he's probably sleeping right now. Horder says, just got done the mock for time being. Going to start learning how to make a stop motion. The mock looks pretty good considering we only started it yesterday. Yes, I'm going for my masters. I'm going because I'm going to be a master in urban and regional planning. A grad school and postgraduate is the same thing. Yeah, I just said what my master's is. So I want to see when Chopper created his channel. Because he was making stuff with Thomas the Tank Engine before he made Lego videos. So I'm going to go to his About page. Yeah, so he joined YouTube on the 24th of June 2008. And his oldest video, his oldest public video is from 11 years ago. And it looks like for the first 1, 2, 3, looks like for the first 4 years of his channel, he did Thomas Tommy Play Rail content. And then his first Lego video was called Thanks Briggsar Tommy Trains for Lego Trade, which was uploaded 7 years ago. It looks like he traded some of his Tommy trains to Briggsar in exchange for the Benny spaceship. And out the corner of the thumbnail, it looks like an alien conquest or a Galaxy Squad set. And then his next Lego video after that, also from 7 years ago, was called Lego Bricklink Haul from Kittenville Bricks. Anyone remember Kittenville Bricks? Pretty sure they're inactive now. And his third Lego video was called Amazing Classic Lego 12-volt Train Layout at Brickworld Chicago. So that would have been in 2018. Yeah, I'm an academic, which is why I'm investing in my education. And academia is why I've studied so much about Lego. And academia is why I now have 1,000 subscribers. I think that was one of the designers from the 60s that did that. Yes, I'm gonna close that. Anything else that we want to talk about? Because I'm doing stuff in my game at the same time. Yeah, I'm sober. And I'm clean. No, I don't, but my friends do. They're big into Pokemon. I streamed the other day building my mocks. I built 2 minifigure habitats on Twitch. But I don't take Twitch seriously anymore because I'm never going to convince my followers to go and follow me on Twitch. That's never going to happen because people don't care. Yeah, so my Twitch account is in the description below. If anyone wants to go and follow me. I used to do primarily Minecraft streams, but no one watched that, so I was like, fuck that, I don't need to do this shit anymore. Because people don't give a fuck about me on Twitch. So I just use Twitch as a dumping ground to maximize my 3 hours on StreamYard. And also sometimes when I'm streaming with other people, I share to my Twitch followers. So I don't go promoting my Twitch as I do with all of my other stuff. Because that's not where my audience is. Well, I've told this story about art before, but I've actually sold art. And I got the Achievement Award in senior year of high school in art class because I was the best student in the class. I forget where I put that achievement, but it was probably a laminated piece of paper. But I did get the achievement award. I'll remember it because I sold art. And looking back, I spent probably a combined 24 hours building. No, sorry, and making a piece of art, and I sold that art piece for $50. So, looking at it in retrospect, I probably only worked for $2.05 an hour. Would have been my hourly cost of what I sold that art piece for. Hello, planes, trains, sirens, cars, buses, boats, and more. Don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome to the mayohosko channel. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, but and now we're at 101. So see what I was talking about with the yo-yo earlier, guys. So Amy, if you're still here, now that we're at 101, anyone who has subscribed to me on my alt on your alts can now unsubscribe from your alts, and we'll still be at 1,000. Because I have seen, no, sorry, I haven't seen. I've heard people complain for 2 years now that they got unsubscribed from YouTube channels that they cared about, and then they complain to YouTube about it, when really, if you know anything about the YouTube algorithm, it's doing its job. If you got unsubscribed from someone, that's because you were not watching their videos. I don't want people who are subscribed to me who don't watch my videos, because otherwise you end up like Brick Queen, and no one wants to end up like Brick Queen. No one wants to end up like that. A bunch of empty calorie subscribers. Yeah, so I strongly advise people to only subscribe to other people with their alts temporarily until they hit a milestone. Because, for example, I subscribe to a whole bunch of people to artificially boost their numbers just because I wanted to see them happy on the spot. And then once they surpassed their milestone, then I unsubscribed from them on my alts. And if YouTube and if you don't remember that you're subscribed to other people's channels on your alts, eventually YouTube will just unsubscribe you anyway. Because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. Yeah, that's because of timing. Because of videos are on demand, streams aren't. And some people strangely private their streams afterwards, not realizing the benefits of keeping your live streams on demand after it's finished. Exactly, that happens too, because I'm subscribed to people that haven't made content in years. So if I didn't unsubscribe myself, YouTube would have eventually unsubscribed me because they haven't done anything in years. Which is why I like to go binge watching on YouTube, because that means that I'm regularly watching people I care about, and by liking their stuff, that helps out their stats, and commenting on their stuff not only is a good stat for the creator, not only does it let the creator know that I was actually watching the video, but it also tells YouTube, hey, this person likes to watch this person. So there's 3 things at once that you do when you that happens when you comment on someone's video. And it's all part of the algorithm. And if it wasn't for studying the YouTube algorithm, I wouldn't be sitting at 101 right. No, sorry, I wouldn't be sitting at 1001 right now. Yeah, that's an example of what we were just talking about. And you probably actually no. So that was an example of what Hanzo was talking about. Oh, there's Owen.
Hello, Mayo.
Hey.
Sorry, just a quick question. When would you like the brick talk scheduled?
At 12 a.m. for you on Saturday.
Okay, what day? On Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be busy with friends on Friday.
Yeah, no worries. My mothership came, by the way, as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Which I can't use my camera right now because I'm on my computer because I was scheduling the Brick Talk.
Nice, because for those who don't know, when do we do Brick Talk?
Friday and Saturday. Usually 8 p.m. UK time, which is 5 a.m. Central, 2 p.m. Australian time. I'm pretty sure. I think it's 2 p.m. Right?
No, it's 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's it. 5 a.m. Yeah. And we basically talk absolute bricks for 2 hours of the both days.
So what do you see on screen right now?
What I see on screen right now is that you've hit 1,000 subscribers. Well done,
Yeah,
man.
boy.
Proud of you.
Yeah, that's what happens when you value academia and you study algorithms.
Yeah, that's called dedication right there, man.
12 years in the making.
Yep. Dedication. I mean, I'm now a part of a new Lego community. Oh, sorry. And now I have 87 subscribers and about to get even more. But I have a massive issue. The guy I was watching that was helping me promote my channel, he unfortunately has a channel filled with trolls. When I mean filled, I'm talking about 200 of them. And they all said that they were going to troll my channel. So I'm kind of up to creep without a paddle here. I'm going to need a couple of moderators.
Yeah, trolls are part of the experience.
Not 200 of them at a time. You know what I mean? That's a bit OTT. But this guy, like, his stream was filled with so many fake accounts. Like, they had Bart Simpson, Boris Johnson, Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure they had Flanders. It was fucking ballistic, bro. So funny.
Yeah,
But
and in 6 months they'll all be gone.
yeah,
Because that's what happens with every single troll is they get bored and they stop trolling.
yeah. I mean, I've got a guy that's going to help me get monetized. And he said it's probably going to take 2 months at least. You know, to spread the word out about my channel.
Yeah, I need 540 more watch time hours before I do my stream raising money for charity.
All right, no worries. I can tell you what I can do. All your streams, I'll stay up. I mean, I won't stay up personally, but I'll leave my phone on all night on charge, and I'll watch all your streams.
Well, that helps, and I have a playlist for a variety of my stream series
Yeah,
that people can go back and watch.
I also watch your videos as well.
Yeah, and I encourage everyone else to do the same. So thank you for watching this stream. It is appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers, everybody. I'll be more emotional when we get to 1,010 because that will help suffice the yo-yo effect on YouTube. So I'll see you on my next stream, which will be episode 5 of Brick Talk, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be premiering in 5.5 hours. And also at the end there, hello Dumpling Man. Yeah, so we're just ending this stream right now, so thank you for watching, everyone. If anyone missed out on the start of the stream, you can go back and watch this stream on the replay. I need rest. Good night, everybody.